The Elderwoods is 2 weeks away. I'm excited. The community's excited. We've been waiting for over a year for this. And today I want to do a breakdown video. I want to cover the wish list that just got dropped by Palia. I want to cover the video announcement trailer and some of the gameplay that we've seen, also answering some community questions. This was going to be like 3 videos, but I decided to all jam it into one because the last thing YouTube needs is more of my face. So let's go ahead and dive into the wish list Palia just dropped. Palia dropped a little dev vlog saying wish big, win big, unlock plush rewards, and more when you wishlist Palia on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS. The Elderwoods wishlist will go from April 28th to May 11th, and during that time, as long as you wishlist the game on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, or have the game on Steam and Nintendo Switch, it counts towards the wishlist goal. At 10,000, you get mixed hydrangea flowers and a mix of few resources, along with community Discord rewards like the Cernic sticker and the Drooling Musion sticker. But at 25k, that's when things start looking a little bit better. We have potato pods, we have stickers, we have more bouncy shroom boxes, first rainy day jukebox, and more community Discord rewards. At 30k, you do get the big Frogbert plush. Originally did say 50k on the table, but 30k on the image. So they've decided they're going to honor the 30k. Then at 100k, there's a giant Frogbert plush. Going from there is pretty much nothing but plushies. I will point out though, if it's wish listed over 500,000 times, you will get the rainbow butterfly plushie. So you don't even have to go out there and smack bugs with your balls. There's a chance that you can get it doing this. But going on from there, we're going to cover a few things that I saw in the trailer. Obviously, we're getting a lot more plushies. If you look at the part where they kind of zoom out on all the plushie stuff, we're getting rock hopper plushies, Ogapoo plushies, Schmoll plushies, all the plushies your heart ever desired. I'm not a big plushie hunter. I just think it's fun to go collect things. But once I get it, I'm willing to just trade and get rid of it. That's just how I am with the game. But getting into things that I'm more excited about, we are obviously getting more crops, forageables, and things to cook with the Elderwoods release. First one we know what for a fact is the pumpkin. A lot of you guys noticed it. It was seen in the seed maker. You guys went there and you scrolled on, you're like, what the f? There's pumpkins. And that is confirmed that is coming with the Elderwoods because during the crop scene, you can clearly see a pumpkin in the background. If you go back to the seed maker, we learned that 1 pumpkin seed will get you 100 gold and will take 9 days to harvest. With pumpkins, there's a possibility of adding pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin pie. I love all pie, to be honest with you. But one thing I'll point out, it might introduce making your own jack-o'-lanterns. Maybe next Halloween, instead of buying jack-o'-lanterns, we get the recipe to create our own and we can make an endless amount. The next crop we're going to be covering that is seen in the trailer that has a lot of people divided on. Here you can see that there is a poll that has what half the community believes, myself included, are beans, and the other half believe that it is grapes. The reason why I don't think that they're grapes is because if you zoom in, they're pods, not grapes. I would love if they're grapes, don't get me wrong. It opens the possibility of making wine. I'm a home brewer. I've made my own wine. I've made my own mead. But also for someone that has their own garden, I know pods when I see it. So what can beans bring in? Well, maybe if you trick Ani that they're magic, you might get a free Ormu out of it. That was the most cleanest joke I think done on this channel. Or you could possibly get a black bean burger. You can see here in a later part of the trailer that there is now burgers among other foods that will be introduced within the Elderwoods. You also see what I think is a loaf of bread, and what next to it I think is Ogapoo, which would be delicious to make. A little bit of S&P. Garlic powder, paprika. That'd be delicious. But I'm very excited that we're getting more recipes to cook in the game because I do in fact have a Palia cookbook. You can find a link for that in the Discord if you join it. Discord link is in the description below. But why? Why do I believe these are black bean burgers? 1, we're getting beans. Obviously. 2, Singularity 6 is introducing more vegan-friendly options within the game. We will probably have both versions of a burger, meat and vegan, but a bean burger falls under that vegan category. But yes, I can 100% say we're getting vegan alternatives. There's going to be something in the game called Muskin, which is mushroom skin. There you can have mushroom meat and mushroom leather. I double checked if I can say that. I had to ask, and they said yes, I can mention that. So yeah, we're having a lot more vegan options added into the game. Vegan leather, vegan meats. But yeah, adding in vegan alternatives and beans screams black bean burger to me. It just makes sense. But hey, I could be wrong. We'll find out. But I am hoping that if we get a black bean burger or burgers, that we also get fries. Maybe a reason to use the Palian pickled potatoes. We take those and put them in the oven, make roasted Palian pickled potato fries. That is such a mouthful. What has also been pointed out to me is that burgers have lettuce. Or we just use our Napa cabbage and call it a day. But a lot of us know that lettuce is coming. It got accidentally dropped a long time ago, and some of us have lettuce in our inventory and no reason to use it. So maybe there's finally a way to grow lettuce. And also a lettuce will introduce salads. Yay! Vegan options. I love me a good salad. Salads are nice. Next is something I want to talk about that was heard on Maxwell's 30-minute gameplay of the Elderwoods. He mentions that one of the NPCs is getting a potion shop, and many of you have noticed that Tamala does in fact have a guild store attached to her now. This was added a while ago, and I don't know why they didn't take it out before everyone started saying something, but yeah, you can go to Tamala, you can see that she has a guild store. She's a logical choice to have a potion store. She has a store icon. So yeah, go there and buy your potions when the Elderwoods drops. It's logically her. Moving on to the Courier pet. If you go to your settings, you will see an option for a Courier bag in the description, and it reads, sets which bag to use for sending items home with the Courier pet. Now, us partners haven't really gotten any news on this. We've gotten news for a lot of things. There are a lot of things coming after the Elderwoods, and they're bangers, and I can't mention them yet, even though I want to, but nothing on the Courier pet. So let's break this down on what I believe a Courier pet will be. A Courier pet will be a pet that takes things to your house. Now, pets are something you pay for, right? We all know this. We've all bought a pet. If you haven't, good on you for waiting out for so long. I love cute and cuddly things. I needed a pet. I personally believe that we'll all be given a free pet very soon, and the pets that we have right now will become pet skins, something we can change at any given time. But a pet may soon become an in-game mechanic. Now, they have to provide a free pet because if they do not, it is pay to win. And that goes against Palia's business model. Their business model is Palia will be free to play, Palia will monetize cosmetic items, Palia will not monetize things you can earn through gameplay. You won't need to buy loot boxes or get content through rotating store. We commit to being open and honest and communicating decisions or changes we make in this space. I do want to point out one thing though, you won't need to buy loot boxes. The mystery gift is technically a loot box, but it's not a loot box for us. So they definitely thought about that before they released it, but yeah, technically it's a gift loot box, and it's not towards us, it's to somebody. You're giving something free to somebody that you paid for. So yes, they found a way around that. If they were to go against this business model and introduce pay-to-win features, the community will have torches and pitchforks ready. And I already know I'm gonna get the comment saying, hey, this isn't a pay-to-win function because Palia you can't win in. There is no winning in Palia. Pay to win is just a term. It means that you bought something that the free players don't have, and it gives you an advantage over them. And that advantage is sending stuff to your plot while you can keep playing, while others have to run back to the plot and drop things off. That is a pay to win feature. So yes, in this case, if they do not introduce a free pet, it will be pay to win. But I believe we will get a free pet. And what will that pet be? A plumehound. If you look at the new key art for Palia, you can clearly see a plumehound puppy running alongside a player. Plus, can you imagine that quest line? Tao accidentally having puppies. He just shows up to your plot and he's like, hey, can you watch my kid? I gotta go out for milk. But if you look in the same key art, you will see someone wearing what appears to be a relic on their hip. People were asking if the relics we wear will be seen on our players. I don't believe so. I don't think that is something. I think that's just strictly in the key art. That part is just in the key art to show that this relic's coming. However, that is not mentioned to us partners. We don't know if it's seen what relics you have or if it's not seen. To me, the only way you can tell what relic somebody has is if you get into a party with them and the buff pops up. But this makes me want to answer a comment that was in my last Palia video. This comment is from Not Evil. I was so hyped with all the expansion, but each time you mentioned party, I died a little inside because I am and will always be a lone wolf player. I feel you. I do. I'm actually a solo player in a lot of the MMOs that I play. I do love guilds, I do love communities, but I do play a lot by myself because usually when I'm playing, I'm watching Netflix. But the relics do stack in parties. So if you're a party of one, you're only going to get one buff. If you're a full party, you're going to get your buff plus whatever buffs they're running from their relics. Now, there's a term I heard a long time ago, and I had to Google it to make sure it wasn't part of my imagination, but there is something called a buff guild. And no, it is not a guild of half natties going to the gym every single day. It is a guild specifically for the benefits and resources of a guild. So when you join it, you don't give a about community, you don't care about the other players, you're just there for the benefits. There is a way to introduce this into Palia, a buff community. I'm not going to call it a buff community. I feel like that's just weird to say. But start a buff guild, Discord or within Palia itself, and invite people into those parties with the relics that you want. You don't need to conversate past that because I don't believe you need to be near anybody or your party members to get the benefits of the relics. So just hop on Discord or hop in community chat being like, what relics do you guys have? I need this buff. Add them to your party, don't talk to him again. Right before you leave, go GG's, appreciate you, homie, and you're done. That's all you got to do. So yeah, start a buff guild if you're a solo player. Take advantage of other people's relics. That's all you got to do. Now on to some community questions that I got and I would like to answer. Question number 1 is from Mirthrive. What does Palia look beyond the Elderwoods? I'm so excited for the expansion and what's to come, but I worry that I'll play through it so quickly. What do the devs have in mind as far as a new roadmap? Do they plan on releasing a new one anytime soon? As a long-term player, I want Palia to grow and grow for years to come. I am hoping that this update, combined with how they were bought by Daybreak last summer, will mean more updates like the Elderwood. I am also hoping we won't have to wait approximately 1.5 years between such updates. Do they have big plans for exciting content beyond Elderwood? I want to know it all. I want to tell you it all, but I can't. I can say they do have plans beyond Elderwood, and they are awesome. But yeah, there is definitely more stuff coming beyond Elderwood. I do get into this a good bit on my Twitch streams, and this is how I believe the Elderwood was handled. They probably made a batch of content to slow drip until the Elderwood. Mainly premium items with small features added to the game. So when they added the Elderwood, it is this big exciting thing, and they could worry on making sure the Elderwood is ready for release, and they've already had all this stuff pre-made a long time ago. So they can be like, okay, at this update, this is coming, yay, but they're still all working on the Elderwood, and Elderwood was slowly released in the background. That's just how I think they did it. I know a few games have done stuff very similar to that. Next question from Heath. I would love to know about Bahari City. Do we think that's the next area? So, no, I don't think Bahari City is the next area. Could it happen in the future? Maybe. But I don't think that's the next area. You have to think for a city, you need a lot of NPCs to make it feel alive. You need a big zone, and you need a lot of players. Right now, the server only handles 25 players. If they were to up the player count, make a big map, and add a shitload of NPCs, even if the NPCs aren't named, but they're just walking around or doing something in the city, that is the only way I can see them doing Bahari City. But I don't think they have the capabilities of doing that right now. The next logical place to me is the Meadows or Harvest Meadows. It is the town over. So that's my money on what's next. Maybe something else, but if I were a game dev, I would introduce a new town for people to go to that we hear about. Snazzy asked, will we see dynamic weather patterns anytime soon? I think it might be soon. I don't know how soon, but I think it's in the near future. There's a few fish that say it can only be caught during the rain. And also, if you go to the website and you look up Palia World, it will state that rain is on their roadmap in the future, or they plan to release it. I wouldn't say roadmap, but they plan to release it in the future. Leah asked, will quests be drop fed like the prologue quest, or becoming quicker than that? Are there more flora, fauna, and bugs in Elderwood than we've been told about? So I do think it's going to be a mix of both. I think we're going to get a big batch of quests that'll last us for a good bit, and they'll slowly add more quests after that. And for more flora, fauna, and bugs, yes, there are definitely more flora, fauna, and bugs that we haven't seen, like the rock hopper, for example. Technically, it's a bug because you got to smack them with your balls, but I do think there's more than that. There's more things that you're going to be able to pick up. If you check out the 30 minutes of gameplay, there are different types of mushrooms that you see there. So yeah, I do think there are a lot more. Pixie asked, I noticed that there's one animal that we hunt that spits back and attacks us. Do we lose stamina if they hit us with their spitballs? So that is an Ogopu, and the Ogopu is their introduction of light combat. It is the first animal to fight back, but it only slows you down. It doesn't hurt you in any way. It just is an annoyance, really, where if it hits you with its spit, you slow down, you walk, and then the moment you get out of the spit, you can run again. It just makes hunting that creature a little bit more complex, and it's the same with the Shmoll. Shmoll doesn't add a light combat, but the Shmoll goes in and out of the ground, and it's really annoying to hunt. I love that. I like it when they add those little hard things to the game to make it a lot more interesting. HM asks, I had another thought regarding the relics. Can they give more stamina or slower stamina depletion? Like seen in the trailer, those trees seem huge. How are we to get far up them as our stam depletes as the view is from above? So I couldn't tell if there were other platforms to wait for the stam to regen. Are the relics only active within the Elderwoods and not keep buffs when going to kill more Bahari Bay? The only thing I can say on that one is relics are going to be going for skills. I don't know if it's going to add for stamina or stamina depletion. That is something that is completely unknown to me. However, I can say that the relics are used everywhere. Outside of the Elderwoods, you don't need to be in the Elderwoods to use the relics, but the relic crafter and the ability to trade relics will be in the Elderwoods. But that's all I have for today. I'm very excited excited for the Elderwoods. We are 2 weeks away. What are you guys excited for the most? Let me know in the comments down below. But while you guys are down there commenting, be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you know when I upload a video. If you know the exact moment I upload a video, because I will annoy the shit with pings, be sure to join my Discord. My Discord is a super happy, friendly, and welcoming community. If you're watching this right now, this very second, there is a chance I'm streaming on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Perzival. I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, if you like true crime and paranormal podcasts, I got one that's called What Dwells Beneath. It is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And last but not least, be sure to follow me on all my social media. I have TikTok, Twitter, or X, Blue Sky, Threads, all that is in the information down below. Be sure to go check it out. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.